Alright, now we're gonna watch this fucking video on this bitch-ass James Corden. I hate James Corden for many reasons, but let's see why this video says we should hate James Corden.
Has slowly developed one of the worst reputations in media history, and the foundation for his decline began when people started to realize that James Corden was a completely different person when he wasn't on camera.
Remember, this country was so weird because you realize how small your social bubble is. Your problem's not that huge. I bet it feels like that to leave the high pass law. I think the only group active and successful are the sidemen. Like long-term group, yeah.
As an actor and the main host of The Late Late Show, James presents as a happy, polite, easygoing comedian whose goal is to simply make the audience laugh.
He's so
there's
bland
a mountain of
and
evidence showing
generic.
that in his private life, he's the exact opposite to this.
Look at him, bro. He's just like, ugh. He's like everything I hate about Hollywood.
With his rude nature developing after he first became famous back in 2008. As a result of his excellent performance on a British TV show called Gavin and Stacey, James would win the British equivalent of an Oscar, although accompanying this award was an ego boost that began.
But no one cares about British award shows.
And to get out of control.
You can start to think you're perhaps a bit more of a dude than you really are. And that very much happened to me. You know, I had a swagger in my walk.
As mentioned, James Corden's sudden explosion into fame led him to believe that he was
how silly he looks.
More of a dude than he really was, which would eventually translate into him treating everyone around him like garbage. James explained that as 2008 wore on, it got so bad I was being rude to my agent, and I even started being rude to Ruth. If I was in company and the conversation was revolving around me, I would just switch off. In addition to being rude to everyone around him,
are British people not eligible for the Oscars? I have no idea.
Corden began to live a typically irresponsible, newly famous lifestyle.
I'd started going out quite a lot. This door had opened to this world that I thought looked like fun, where people go, "You're amazing, you're great, can I have a photo? Do you want a drink? Come out with us." And so you.
Why is this audio so creepy? Like it was like it was. I feel like this like audio was like recorded without his knowledge to like a fucking officer with like a wire. Why is this audio so weird?
You just end up on this path of just 3 a.m.
I feel like he's got like a gun in his hand. He's like got a bottle of whiskey into the hand. He's just like ranting and rambling, just like waving the gun in the air. Go, 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 go. You just don't understand, so you just end up on this path at 3 a.m. Like he's just like going off on a drunken tirade.
Cab rides.
It's like James, put down the gun. Everything's gonna be fine. Is he making himself sound like a victim for being famous, popular, and rude as fuck to everyone? He's like, I just got so rich, I just started treating everyone worse. It's just, I couldn't help it.
With people you don't know, heading across London to someone's house who you don't know either, with a group of people who think it's amazing that you're there. This is an intoxicating thing to be part of.
All of which being noticed by another Gavin and Stacey actor, Rob Brydon, who explained that when he first met James Corden 6 years prior, he was very impressed by him, yet after winning the Oscar award, James Corden was on a roller coaster. This boy from High Wycombe, and he's suddenly enjoying the fruits of his success, and he just lost his way for a bit. He was burning the candle at both ends and becoming ratty and irritable. James Corden claimed that his streak of irresponsibility came to an end after attending 18 months of therapy, although
my nose is so stuffed up, chat.
After this, there were still countless examples of him treating people like garbage. For example, James Corden stated in a BBC4 interview that he needed to bully his way to the top of the media world.
I think that sometimes everyone's always like, you have to like bully, you have to be really aggressive, you have to take advantage of other people to like grow in like the social media industry, acting, whatever it is, or just like anything, I guess. Like you gotta be like aggressive and kind of steps on the backs of other people. And like as sad as this is, I think it's kind of true. For real, get you some tea. I need some. Everything started going my way in life was amazing. People don't realize how traumatizing that can be. It just fucking sucks. You know, you don't understand, Giraffe.
Which can be observed in certain events, such as the time he get into a public argument with another incredibly respected actor, Patrick Stewart, whilst on stage.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards,
what is this?
Don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets.
What is this? Wait, what is this interaction? Look how he's staring at him. Ew.
Looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just
they about to kiss
and get on with it.
After Patrick Stewart would confront James about looking disinterested during the presentation, the argument would escalate in front of everyone.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on.
Oh, this is weird.
No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No.
Jesus. He's lame as fuck for that. What an ass.
No, go on. You can see my belly and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Which was concluded by James and Patrick bickering in the background while someone else was talking on the microphone. Now, to cut James some slack, Patrick Stewart was probably in the wrong here, considering he was the person who began the argument. Interestingly, after James Corden gave him a very favourable introduction.
What was really confusing about it was that I gave him like a massive intro.
Yeah, I know.
I said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome an actor who's held in such high esteem. Please welcome the brilliant Sir Patrick Stewart. And then he came up and did that.
Although James
But what did he do? I want to know what it was.
still decided to engage and clap back with a few jabs of his own, so it's safe to say that he also
Look at his body language. I think his body language is like the grossest part. And like how tight his fucking suit is. God damn, the seams are probably going to be about to bust.
had some degree of responsibility. There are other examples of similar situations where James has acted rudely, however only after being provoked by someone else first. Countless paparazzi videos show James walking through Los Angeles looking quite angry and disinterested.
Bro, I mean, honestly, how do you walk down the street? Do you walk down the street looking super happy? Like, most of the time in your real personal life, things suck. You got a lot of bullshit going on. Like, no one really walks around super happy.
Although having a camera involuntarily shoved into your face probably doesn't facilitate the best environment for a good mood. There was also the time when Ant and Dec played a prank on James Corden, attempting to make him late for work. Although considering they were literally going out of their way to make him angry, James probably gets another pass here. However,
I want to see how angry he got. The super cut of a resting bitch face. I mean, like, dude, I'm walking down the street, I probably don't look the happiest.
when James Corden would post one of the most brutal Reddit Ask Me Anythings in internet history, 3 fan interactions were highlighted, which James had absolutely no excuse for. Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friend sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles plus some others in Manchurian Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago.
What the fuck is this?
We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled dick who yelled and treated the wait staff like shit, and when one of my party politely suggested you calm down,
Dude, what? A random Reddit user?
you got really aggressive and threatening. So my question is this.
Threatening in a chubby way, like a boozy panda. I like how he left that out.
Why did Harry seem so cool while you were such a massive throbbing bellend?
A bellend.
This post was followed by another which read, I went to a James Corden live recording a while back. He had nearly zero interaction with the audience before/after the show and was on his phone entirely during commercial breaks. I guess that's his prerogative. He may have been having a bad day. I also realize it must be difficult to be honest.
Honestly, what's worse, James Corden acting like this or being a James Corden fan? I bet I never knew more about him, to be honest. Throbbing. How do we not know it's not just made up? That's what I'm saying.
all the time, but
I feel like people would lie to like get likes and favorites because it's like, you know, popular to hate on him.
remember being extremely disappointed.
Like, yeah, I just happened to be at the same restaurant as you and Harry Styles, and Harry Styles was super dope, but you were an asshole. And my friend was like, yo, calm down, bro. And you were like, kind of like in a pussy type way, got aggressive. Like, bro, really? I mean, it might be true, but...
By comparison, I've been to a Jimmy Fallon recording and a Letterman recording, and I can
Dang, this guy's been to all the recordings. What the fuck? He's like, I've actually been to all the greatest night show host recordings. Cancel culture. I'm smelling a little bit of cancel culture. I think he's cringe more than anything.
say with full conviction that those guys really seemed like they cared about their audience and worked their hardest to entertain them, even while the cameras weren't recording, which was followed by one final anecdote reading, massive dick in person. I saw a League of Their Own filming live. Through multiple
I saw a League of Their Own filming live. But why? This guy's name is James Corden is a dick. Okay, yeah, this definitely isn't a biased reviewer. Like, this is just a random Reddit user just happened to have an experience with James Corden. Because he's not funny.
tantrums over minor things
Bro, like, yeah, I was just on the set watching the live recording of a League of Their Own.
production staff, with him being incredibly rude to them, which made the other regulars seem very awkward like it was usual. Between each take, the other celebs would be
I saw James Corden pull out a knife and stab a pregnant woman. Over and over. He's like, that's what you bloody get. And walked away. It was on set of one of his shows.
chatting amongst themselves, bantering about. James was glued to his phone. At the end of the filming, people got up to go get pictures with James, and he massively kicked off shouting at people to go away and go back to their seats. And the few he did let have pictures with, he was moody as. Seeing him like that made me realize everything you see of his on TV is a complete persona. When continuing on through the AMA, it becomes pretty obvious as to why James Corden only answered 3 different questions before calling it quits. Why are you, James, such a deeply unpleasant person? Did your parents raise you that way? Have you ever considered being funny or likable? James, are you aware that everyone thinks you're a talentless asshat?
A talentless asshat? Okay, that's a little far.
With his third comment here relating to the next reason behind James Corden's decline. Many of his on-screen performances have simply been terrible.
Oh my god, dude. James Corden and Cats.
Petition requesting that James Corden not be cast in Wicked the movie gained close to 110,000 signatures.
I didn't even know Wicked the movie was.
James Corden would be hosting the TV show's 15-year reunion. He'd received Twitter responses such as, "Don't get me wrong, I've been wanting a Friends reunion since 2004, but if someone told me James Corden would be in it, I'd have told them not to."
Bro, do you chat? Do you guys who know him? Do you guys really hate him that bad, or like does he bother you that much? He bothers me, but I mean, bro, honestly, I think if like you're like into Friends, like you're like, oh, Friends is my favorite show, like you probably don't have a very good personality. No offense, you're probably pretty shallow.
Bother. James Corden adding the
Friends was really boring to me.
Friends reunion to the list of things he's ruined with his mere presence. Additionally, after starring as the main character in the 2019 film Cats, the movie received a 2.8
Jesus.
8 out of 10 star rating on IMDb,
2.8,
as well as reviews so awful that James Corden didn't even end up watching the movie himself. However, James stating that he didn't watch the movie wasn't the only thing that was interesting about this interview, as he'd also discussed another topic which had turned much of his audience against him, his beef with another talk show host, Bill Maher. In September of 2019, Bill Maher published an editorial about obesity, with the contents of such being discussed on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Look, you can't keep eating as much as you want and as shitty food as you want. You just can't.
That is not something that anybody wants to hear, though.
People loved it until James Corden said something.
As mentioned,
wait, what? James Corden is like pro-fat people? What is this?
James Corden wasn't too happy with these comments and would call Bill Maher out by making both some reasonable arguments.
If making fun of fat people made them lose weight, there'd be no fat kids in schools and I'd have a six-pack by now.
As well as some awful ones, such as a zero personal responsibility statement that Bill Maher was simply lucky to have a body that burned more calories than him.
We're not all as lucky as Bill Maher, you know? We don't all have a sense of superiority that burns 35,000 calories a day.
Which Bill interpreted as the easy, low-risk way out of the argument.
So, like, this argument's interesting, but, like, I don't feel like James Corden probably isn't the one to be arguing it.
He missed a great opportunity to literally save lives. He took the easy way out. Of course, you can always get applause for saying, oh, let's boo the mean man who's told the truth. That's not brave.
As is usually the case with these kinds of
I can understand that. A lot of people think, like, that shit's brave, like to say what gets the applause, but I think it's braver to say things sometimes that gets the crickets, because that's the harder thing to say.
topics.
It's easier to say the popular thing and what everyone's going to agree with and whatever's popular within the culture, but to say the truth, like, that can get you fucked sometimes.
There were supporters for both sides of the argument. However, James unnecessarily forcing himself into such a divisive conversation where people already disagree with him was probably a net negative toward his reputation, just like the time his carpool karaoke was outed for being fake. The segment
Oh
during which
yeah, dude, bro, when people found this out, they were so pissed. I mean, I get like maybe why, but like it's not really that big of a deal.
James Corden drives around singing songs with various famous musicians, was called out by a user on Twitter in early 2020 after they noticed Justin Bieber and James Corden in a car, which wasn't being driven but rather being pulled on a trailer. The video would rack up over...
But what does it matter? But like, what do you expect him, like, with all the cameras mounted to the car, everything going on, got a celebrity trying to like think of like his script, the show, sing, do all this, and expect him to drive around safely? Like, I feel like this isn't a huge deal.
14 million views, which prompted an...
Because they don't really need to carpool, I remember. Like Justin Bieber doesn't actually need a fucking ride, and James Corden's helping him out, and they happen to film a carpool karaoke. You know what I mean?
Incredibly hilarious response from James Corden himself, in which he would go ahead and debunk the claim that the series had been faked.
95% of the time, I really am endangering the lives of the world's biggest pop stars. Here is a list of every carpool karaoke where I've used a tow, and this is a list of every one where I was driving the car, okay?
However, while Corden did a pretty
what does
good
it
job
matter?
of debunking these claims, there are still countless comments on every carpool karaoke from people
Such a big deal. And like, even if this is true, like, it's less of a big
who
deal.
never saw the debunk, calling the videos fake. This all feels so fake when you know he's not actually driving.
But what does it
James
matter?
Isn't actually driving.
Who cares?
James Corden, stop cheating people with your carpool karaoke.
How is it cheating? Next time, at least drive the damn car. Like, but what does that matter? It's not about the driving of the car. You're not like, oh, I can't wait to see James whipping around town. He's such a good fucking driver. It's for the music. Why are they so mad? Yeah. Bro, it's just content. G's. Yeah, it's about like enjoying listening to the singing of the whatever pop star, and you know, the humor of James Corden trying to sing with them, I guess.
Believe all these celebrities put up with this
Humor.
fake show. Next time, at least drive the damn car. It seems like even
Bro,
when
most of the movies you see, shows you see where someone's driving, probably a lot of times they're not actually driving.
James Corden is in the right, his audience selectively decides that he's still in the wrong, which has also been speculated as part of the reason behind his recent announcement that he's leaving the public spotlight. On the 29th of April 2022,
I like how like a lot of like these like late night show hosts like Ellen DeGeneres, James Corden, I'm starting to see some for Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon are like slowly all their bad comedy, bad humor, bad tactics of like, you know, like coming up in the past are all coming back to haunt them. You guys notice that like more and more like these like TV people, cable TV people are getting fucked.
James Corden would upload a video to his YouTube channel titled James Corden Discusses His Late Night Future, in which he'd announced that he'd only be hosting the show
yet. We have a while ago. I could probably find a better one that's newer.
One
Hell
more
yeah.
year.
I've decided to sign for one more year on the show, and that this will be my last year hosting the Late Late Show.
In a different interview, James Corden specified that his motive for leaving the entertainment industry was to spend more time with his family.
I don't want to do it forever.
Wait, James Corden has a family?
A really long way away from home, and we're a really long way away from people who are getting older, and we're a really long way from them if something should ever happen, and that plays on my mind a lot.
However, many have speculated that being such a disliked celebrity has put an unbearable amount of pressure on him, which becomes especially
Probably a bit of both. I mean, I understand that. Like, you know, honestly, like if you're a millionaire, like the drive to do something, especially if you're getting a lot of hate for it, it's probably like not there. Like you have millions of fucking dollars, you're set for life, your kids are set for life, and you're getting tons of hate. Yeah, why would you? He's a wife and kids. Wait, he's a wife? I thought he was gay.
obvious when looking at the comments regarding his retirement. James Corden is a talentless bag of garbage. Goodbye, good riddance.
Damn, I don't think he's funny. I think he's really cringe, but like some of these people are way too mad.
Finally, we don't want him
Also
anymore.
thought he was gay.
Ruins everything he's involved in. Probably one of the most annoying people in the business, it seems. Please don't come back to the UK. Please don't come back to the UK.
Damn.
Please don't come back to the UK. With each of these comments being accompanied by flattering articles such as, farewell James Corden, you were an asshole.
Damn! Farewell, James Corden, you were an asshole. Oh, damn. They got zero chill. Guys, chat, go check out the second YouTube channel, by the way, if you haven't already. I saw this earlier. Nestle is worse than you thought. I kind of wanted to watch it, but we're going to start MasterChef soon, so I'll probably just...